Nehf. I train horses here at Santa Anita Park. And yesterday, Saturday, Beholder won the 1.1/16 Zenyatta Stakes in preparation for her run at the Breeders' Cup. That's no secret. The 1.25 Breeders' Cup is in her sights. Beholder's victory in the Zenyatta Stakes is a key factor in her preparation for the 1.25 Breeders' Cup Classic. Her trainer, Richard Mandella, is a real master of conditioning his horses, and he'll have Beholder ready to roll on Halloween Day for the Breeders' Cup. In this video and the previous videos we've done on Beholder, I'll show you exactly how this all fits together. Here we are at Santa Anita Park, ready for the Zenyatta Stakes. And here's Richard Mandella waiting for Beholder to come out of the holding barn and head for the paddock to be saddled for her race. And here she comes, champion Beholder, on her way to the... Oh, wait. No, that's not Beholder. No, Richard, that's not her. She'll be coming in just up... There she is. Here she comes. So notice the black hood with the ear covers. There's some earplugs in there that could either be foam rubber or just plain cotton, but that helps keep the noise down and keeps Beholder from getting too worked up before the race. Also, look at the body condition. Nice muscle tone, but certainly not too thin. No bony hips sticking out, and she doesn't look like her skin was shrink wrapped onto her. And notice the massive scope of her hindquarters. There's a lot of power here. Compare that to number 7, Wild in the Saddle, and you can see there's a significant difference in the overall mass, volume, scope of that upper hind leg. Now we're in the paddock where the horses will be saddled before the race. Mr. Mandella has Beholder taken way down to the far end of the paddock. You can see the partition there that gives the horses a little break from the crowd, keeps them a little quiet. A horse like Beholder can be quite a handful when you're trying to put a saddle on. So this keeps them a little more quiet. And she's all saddled up with Gary Stevens' saddle. And notice the black hood has been removed. So they're getting ready to head out to the track shortly. It's in the high 90s this afternoon, so the horses will be mounted up here in the paddock. So you'll see Mr. Mandella give Gary Stevens a leg up. There's Mr. Stevens in his purple and orange Spendthrift racing silks. And off they go on their way to the track. Let's analyze just how hard Beholder worked in this race, and maybe we can determine if it's going to help her or hurt her come Breeders' Cup Day in 5 weeks. And remember from our previous video, 12 seconds per furlong is the standard that we're going to use to judge how fast she's going, too fast, too slow, or just right. So just think 24 seconds for the first quarter, 48 seconds for the half mile, 1 minute 12 seconds for the 3/4 of a mile, and 1 minute 36 seconds at 1 mile.
It was fanned wide in the early stages. My Speed Addiction is right there, and Wild in the Saddle in the white cap. Then My Monet, Kiriaki in the white cap, moving up a little closer. Beholder caught about 5 wide into the turn. Now is probably going to have to drop in behind, although still wide as they pass the 7-8. Big Book behind that. Then comes Warren's Venita. And last of all, his savings account, a glance covers them all.
And there's the first quarter mile in 23.43 seconds, so about half a second faster than the 24 standard. It's not uncommon to see that first quarter mile go in 22 seconds or thereabouts, so this is not too bad a pace.
Kiriaki's right there, 5th. Then comes Warren's Venita in the red blinkers, 4 lengths off the leaders.
And a half mile in 47.43 seconds. So they're exactly 24 seconds during that second quarter mile. So just a solid pace, but nothing too taxing.
Stride for stride with 3/8 to go. Then My Monet, Kiriaki behind that, Wild in the Saddle losing ground, Warren's Venita still far back. They are coming towards the quarter pole now, and Beholder now takes the lead.
111.38 for the 3/4 mile, and just a tick under 24 seconds for that third quarter.
Stevens has not asked her now, takes a look over his shoulder at My Sweet Addiction. Now a look over his right shoulder, but behold her, once again, is just making this look so easy. It is.
And the mile in 1:36.09, so that's 24.71 seconds. So they slowed down the pace a little bit here at the end. Once Gary Stevens and Beholder put away the competition here, Gary just lets her coast on home, takes it nice and easy, protects his horse. And here's the difference between how much work these two horses are doing. In the bottom picture, notice Gary Stevens is standing well up in the irons. There's about a solid 12 inches between his butt and the horse's back. That's the position a rider takes in the morning for an easy gallop, standing well up in the stirrups. In the top picture, you'll see Mike Smith working hard, going to the whip, well down in the saddle, really up on that horse's neck, pushing and pumping and riding hard. So how does this all prepare Beholder for the Breeders' Cup, 1.25 miles against the boys and the best in the world? Well, this field of horses went 1 mile in 1:36.09. The Breeders' Cup horses will go their mile in about 1:35, maybe a tad slower than that. Now, by comparison, this was an easier race. Beholder didn't have to work all that hard, and you could see that when we compared Mike Smith to Gary Stevens in the saddle. So 5 weeks of rest, a couple of breezes coming up to the Breeders' Cup, and Richard Mandella is going to have Beholder in excellent condition and ready to go. So click the big red tag here that says subscribe, and you'll be able to see all of the videos we do about thoroughbred racing, in particular those previous videos about Beholder. And be sure and comment below. You want to ask a question, I'd be happy to find an answer for you. And I can talk to guys like Richard Mandella and Gary Stevens, ask them a question if you want, and find out all the inside information, or as much as they're willing to divulge.